What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the opening podcast for WTFW commentaries. This is my very first episode of hopefully many. What I'm going to be doing on this channel is reviewing, reacting, and giving you all my views on all WWE shows. Raw will get a review every week, and so will NXT, and every pay-per-view. And if SmackDown is worth watching, I'll throw it in there. So if you watch this video and you don't think it's complete trash, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Feel free to leave me comments on what you think I missed, or hell, even tell me how bad I sucked. It's all good. Well, let's start this episode off with Monday Night Raw from the O2 Arena in London, England. This episode was pre-taped because of the time difference, so obviously if you have Twitter or any form of gathering information off the internet, you probably already knew what was going to happen. So it loses a little bit of its suspense and its surprise factor, but all in all, it was still a solid show. Didn't quite have the appeal of the last two Raws, in my opinion, but it still wasn't bad. Start off with a pretty good crowd here. They usually are anytime WWE crosses the pond. Well, we start things off with Dean Ambrose. He comes out to a very loud pop, heads down to the ring for his first official Ambrose Asylum show. And his first guest, Shane O'Mac. Shane comes down, he also gets a pretty big pop, and Ambrose tells him to have a seat. There are no seats. I mean, it looks like Dean stole all this stuff from a rundown flea market somewhere. I mean, there's like a shitty looking rug and a bar stool with a fake plant on it, or maybe it's not fake, fuck, who knows, with Dean Ambrose. And of course, don't forget his poster board hanging up there that says Ambrose Asylum on it, written in marker. Anyway, Shane starts talking about how he's running Raw and the changes he wants to make because he knows the WWE needs them. And he talks about promoting new stars. He mentions AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, Sasha Banks, and all of a sudden Kevin Owens' music hits. He starts coming down the ring. He's got a mic in his hand, and I love Kevin Owens. I just got to break off for 1 second. I love Kevin Owens. I think he is the future of this company. He is going to be, and a lot of people think I'm insane, I think he's the next CM Punk. I just see that quality in him. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. He cuts hellacious promos. He's just awesome. Awesome all the way around. Anyway, he comes out, basically starts calling Shane out, tells him he's full of shit, says things haven't changed at all. He's just another McMahon that's power hungry, and he's going to run the show however he wants to run it. He doesn't care about what people say, what people do. Then he starts talking trash about Sami Zayn until Sami Zayn comes out. And 2 minutes later, here comes Chris Jericho. So we got all four of these guys in the ring, going back and forth, until Shane announces 2 official matches for the upcoming pay-per-view Payback. He announces Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose, and the one that we've all been waiting for, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Oh, shit. Finally, the match that should have happened at WrestleMania is finally going to happen. Owens and Zayn one-on-one. Thank you, God. Shane then announces that tonight he's going to do a little opponent swapping. Tonight it's going to be Sami Zayn taking on Chris Jericho in the opening bout. And then the main event is going to be Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose. All in all, pretty good opening segment. Shane is cutting 1,000 times better promos than the Authority did. Triple H and Stephanie would come out there and drag that shit on for about 30 minutes of just useless bullshit that nobody wanted to hear. At least when Shane comes out, it leads to something. Like tonight we got 2 matches on Raw and 2 matches at Payback. So, he comes out there and at least he does something. So that leads us to the opening match, which was Sami Zayn and Chris Jericho. Pretty good match. Both the guys are hellacious workers in the ring. Jericho's the legend and coming out there and trying to make Sami Zayn look good. Jericho does pick up the win after hitting the Codebreaker on Sami Zayn to get the pin. I'm thinking that if they're making Jericho look good against Sami Zayn, I'm pretty sure that Dean Ambrose is going to go over at Payback, and I think he needs to just because, he hasn't won a big match in a while. I honestly expected him to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and he didn't. So, you got to do something with Dean. You can't, he's so over with the crowd. You got to give him a big win. And I think since Jericho did beat AJ at Mania, you got to say it's time to trade out. Give Dean the win. Well, next we go to a backstage segment, which to me, it gave me chills. It may be the highlight of the whole night. Goes to AJ Styles backstage doing an interview. Before AJ can even answer whatever the question was, here comes Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. Holy shit. The Bullet Club all together in the WWE. The big guys go on to thank AJ for putting in the good word for them with Vince, and basically say they're glad to be there. They're happy to be in the WWE with AJ and, with everybody else. AJ said he's glad that they're there, and they walk off together to go catch up. Please, WWE, do not fuck this up. There are so many things that could go right with this angle. And I think I'll explain some more here in a little bit in the show. Next up, we got semi-final tag team tournament time. The Dudleys take on Enzo and Big Cass. The Jersey Boys come out to a big, big pop, and the crowd going ape shit, chanting word for word their opening lines as they walk to the ring. Pretty good match between the two teams. Enzo and Cass get the win here. I'm glad they finally got called up. NXT was flooded with tag teams, while the main roster only had, 3 fucking teams, and they were all shit except for the New Day. So good for them to make it to the finals and hopefully put some life into the main event, or the main roster tag team division. When we go to a commercial break, when we get back, here comes the World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns getting his ass booed like he always does. Reigns takes the mic and says if we haven't heard it before, he will say it again. He's not a bad guy. He's not a good guy. He's the guy. Fuck me. I'm so tired of hearing that already. God. Anyway, he starts talking about AJ and how he says, AJ's fought all over the world and everybody likes him, and that's what makes him phenomenal. Then he says the Roman Empire is here to stay and nobody's going to knock him off, and then all the fans start throwing up and killing each other. No. Anyway, luckily AJ's music hits. Big pop. Here comes AJ down to the ring. Styles gets in the ring and says Reigns is a hell of a champion. Fans start booing. Imagine that. He says Reigns has it all. He has power, he's explosive, he's aggressive. Styles admits he will need to have the match of his life to beat Reigns. But then he says that's what he does. Styles says having the match of his life has made him a champion everywhere he goes. It's why the WWE came calling to AJ. Anyway, they go back and forth for a second. AJ's music hits and he gets out of the ring, starts walking up the ramp. Well, guess what? Bullet Club, bitch. Gallows and Anderson jump Reigns from behind and hit him with this double team badass looking drop kick and leave his ass laying in the middle of the ring. Fucking finally, the crowd is going completely fucking crazy. Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson do their little gun hand slap thing or whatever, and AJ's standing in the middle of the ramp just looking down like, what the fuck just happened? He claims he doesn't know anything about it because we go to a commercial right here, and after they get back, Roman Reigns is walking through the back, and they catch him on camera, and AJ comes up and tries to apologize to him and say, look, I had no idea that was going to happen. I didn't tell those guys to do that. Basically, Roman Reigns says, you know what, that's bullshit. I know you brought these guys in here because that's the only way you think you can beat me. But it doesn't matter. He said, bring all your friends. It won't make a difference. Man, WWE, please don't fuck this up, man. I gotta say it again. I'm pretty sure 99% of people that watch the WWE want the Bullet Club or the Balor Club or the Bulletproof Balor Club or whatever. They want it to happen. I know I do. I know that, WWE signing all these guys, the Kevin Owens, the Sami Zayns, the AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, it's gotten me interested again, big time. And I think that, it's got everybody interested. I think everybody wants to see what's going to happen. Anyway, next up, Baron Corbin taking on Fandango. Corbin kills him in about 2 minutes, gets the win. Dolph Ziggler is on commentary during this match, and after the match, Ziggler comes in and tries to attack Corbin from behind, only to get murked with the end of days on the floor for the second week in a row. I expect to see this match at Payback, with Corbin obviously going over. I think Corbin could be something down the road the WWE could use. He's got the look, he's big, he's intimidating looking, and he actually has a pretty believable finisher. But on another note, why the hell is Fandango still around? I mean, seriously. I don't know. Well, anyway, we go to another commercial, come back. We got Miz TV. The Miz and his wife Maurice are in the ring, and they are awesome. They are awesome together. I think this, if they really want to push the Miz, which I don't really see why, but if they want to push the Miz, putting him with Maurice is probably the best thing they can do. They are having a great run as a heel couple, as he is the IC champion right now. They're getting a lot of heat from the crowd. Anyway, they're out there cutting a promo, and all of a sudden here comes Cesaro in his James Bond suit. Comes down there and tells The Miz he's a royal pain in the ass. Royal pain in the ass when you're in front of the London crowd. Ouch. Good one. Anyway, he announces that Shane has made an 8-man tag team match tonight, and it will be The Miz teaming with the League of Nations, taking on Cesaro and the New Day. And that match is up next. And what was funny about that is Cesaro rips off his James Bond suit, and he's got a Bootio shirt on. The crowd basically was shitting their pants. They were laughing so hard about that one. Anyways, the usual 8-man tag team match. Not really much to talk about. Cesaro does end up getting the win. He pins Sheamus, I think it was. Glad to see that he may finally be getting some kind of a push, even if he does lose to The Miz. I think that they can work together for a few pay-per-views at least. You know, I don't know. I think they'll be good. Anyways, we move on to the next semifinal match for the tag team tournament. The Vaudevillains taking on the Usos. The Usos come out, still selling the injuries from the attacks of Gallows and Anderson last week on Raw. The Vaudevillains pick up the win, and will be facing Enzo and Cass at Payback for the #1 contender spot. Why they're doing it at Payback just for the #1 contender spot, I don't know. I think I would have had the championship match there, but that's fine. If they want to stretch it out and give these two teams, those two teams from NXT, Enzo and Cass and the Vaudevillains, to give them the spot, the tag team match at Payback, I'm okay with that. I can dig it. All I know is that I'm just ready to see Enzo and Xavier Woods battle it out on the mic. That is going to be some classic shit, and it's going to be funnier than fuck. And I'm ready for it, and I'm pretty sure everybody else is too. Next, we have an 8-woman tag team match. Charlotte, Tamina, Naomi, and Summer Rae take on Natalya, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Paige. Natalya actually makes Charlotte tap out to the sharpshooter to get the win in this match. That was pretty much the only interesting spot. That right there makes me believe. I just don't see Charlotte losing the title anytime soon. If she makes it to Night of Champions, it'll be a year. If you don't count the Divas title switching to the women's title, I don't know how they're going to count that against Nikki Bella's reign. I don't know. Anyway, also the other interesting news about Natalya, about this whole women's championship match at Payback, is that Bret Hart is going to be in Natalya's corner. So that should be pretty interesting. Apollo Crews has a matchup next against Heath Slater. He obviously destroyed him. He pretty much destroyed all of the Social Outcasts, if anybody even cares. They're building him up to look pretty good. I think he has a lot of talent. I just hope they don't ruin him and turn him into another Ryback. Which, I don't think you can really compare Apollo Crews to Ryback, just because Ryback, to me, is just god-awful to watch. Apollo Crews, at least, is very talented. He has a pretty good moveset for somebody his size. And speaking of people his size, Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose, the main event is up next. And Kevin Owens, to me, it's between him and Seth. Him and Seth Rollins, who is the best in-ring performer currently in the WWE. And I know Kevin Owens, people look at him and be like, man, that fat fuck can't do shit. Well, as a large man myself, I wish I could do half the thing that Kevin Owens can do. Unbelievable. I love Kevin Owens. I love watching him. Him and Dean always have, through their Intercontinental title rivalry, they had great matches, and this was just as good. It was in that same category. The match went back and forth. Eventually, Ambrose does catch Owens in the Dirty Deeds and gets the win. That's a big shock. Owens loses again. That's why I have to think he beats Sami Zayn at Payback. I just don't think that they can have him lose and lose and lose and not lose credibility. I mean, he's supposed to, they should be turning him into the next, I said it earlier, the next CM Punk, the next, even if you want to keep him a heel, that's fine, but people love him. He gets cheered as a heel. Roman's getting booed as a face. What the fuck? There is no heel face anymore. I mean, there's really not. The internet age has killed that. You either like the guy or you don't. And everybody likes Kevin Owens. Anyway, after the match, Dean Ambrose is in the ring celebrating. All of a sudden, here comes Chris Jericho in his faggoty-ass scarf, and he hits the damn code breaker on Dean Ambrose and leaves him laying in the ring. And the show goes off the air, with Jericho standing over Dean Ambrose. Putting a lot of build in that match, which again makes me think that Dean is going to go over. And, you want to talk about Payback. I'm going to be doing hopefully doing a Payback predictions video sometime in the next week or so. So check it out. Hopefully I do better predicting that show than I did for WrestleMania. I did awful at WrestleMania. I think I only got 2 matches right. Anyway, you want to talk about Payback just briefly. You've got AJ Styles, Roman Reigns. You've got Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose. You've got Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. And hell, even throw Natalya and Charlotte for the Women's Championship. Those 4 matches alone, not counting the tag team match. Those 4 matches alone will probably make Payback a better pay-per-view than WrestleMania was. I mean, don't get me wrong, WrestleMania was a great show. I watched it. I watched all 7 hours of it or whatever it was, and it was good. It was entertaining. I don't think it should have went the way it did. I mean, like, you take Shane McMahon and The Undertaker. Undertaker won. Shane still got control. Roman Reigns won. Everybody fucking shit on it. Anyway, I mean, I'm not going to tell the WWE how to book shit, but I think that's what culture does. But anyway, I just, it could have been better. It was good. It was fun to watch. I enjoyed it. It was a hell of a crowd. It was very impressive that they did get 100,000 people in there. Good job. So basically tonight what we learned is the Bullet Club hopefully will be something, whether it's with AJ, whether it's with Balor, whether, hell, they may join Roman Reigns and take AJ out. Who fucking knows? But something's going to happen. There's too many people who want it to happen for it not to happen. And Shane running things on Raw, the last 3 Raws haven't been complete fucking trash, so keep it up. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. Like I said, if anybody actually likes this video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Feel free to leave me a whole bunch of comments telling me how shitty I did, or what I should have talked about, what I didn't talk about, or tell me how much you hate Kevin Owens, tell me how much you love Roman Reigns. I really don't care. Let's just get it talking. I appreciate everybody listening, and we will catch you next time.